The parents of 17-year-old Marcel Hamer are suing the NYPD after a cop, a plainclothes police officer, tried to stop him because he thought he was smoking marijuana, when in reality Hamer was just smoking a cigarette. Now, things escalated. They got into some sort of altercation, and then one of Hamer's friends managed to capture this footage of what the cop did next. Now, it's a little difficult to see, so I'm going to explain it. The cop hits Hamer in the head, and as a result, he's knocked out. Take a look.
Just a cigarette! Mister, it was just a cigarette, son. It was just a cigarette.
Oh! Yo, you wildin'!
Yo, you fucked my man.
Yo! Yeah, get it on film. You fucked up, boy. Turn around.
He knocked out! Yes, he knocked out! You knocked him 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 out! Shallow, wake up! You knocked out! Shallow, wake up! You knocked him out! Son, you knocked him out! Shallow, wake up! You knocked him out! Shallow, you knocked him out! Marcel! Yo, wake him up! Wake him up!
You hit him!
Wake him up! Wake him up!
Like that. You going to jail on that?
Wake him up! Wake him up! Yo, wake him up!
So I just want to give you some more details to this story. Okay, so he was knocked out, okay, and then he didn't even come to until the ambulance showed up and put him on the stretcher. At that point, he was complaining about blurry vision and an inability to move his left arm. Now, to be fair, he apparently hit his left arm, so that's probably the reason why he couldn't move it. But his parents now say that he's suffering from neurological problems. The teen says he suffered headaches, dizziness, and memory loss, okay? And to make matters worse, by the way, cops thought that he was smoking marijuana, so apparently that's enough to punch him in the head, right? To make matters worse, when he was at the hospital, they handcuffed him to the bed, and cops sat there and waited until he got better.
Yeah. So if they assault you, that automatically escalates you as a bigger threat. Mm-hmm. But wait, I didn't assault you, you assaulted me, right? But they go to a whole different level because then they got to justify it, right? Now this, I'm going to make a really weird analogy here. It's sometimes in companies you spend a lot of money in one direction, right? And it turns out it's not the right direction. But executives will want to justify it because it was their decision, so they'll spend more money in that direction, going the wrong way. And here in this case, once they punch the kid in the head and knock him out, they got to justify it by saying he's so dangerous, that's why we had to handcuff him and have police guards at the hospital. But remember, the whole incident arose because of the so-called marijuana.
Yes.
But at that time, they had plenty of time to figure out that it was not marijuana.
Yes.
It was a cigarette.
So let's please briefly talk about that, okay? Aside from the police brutality angle of this story, again, how disingenuous is the war on drugs, okay? We're gonna knock you out and cause you to have neurological problems because we're really concerned about your health while you're smoking marijuana.
Such a good point. Okay, I had to kick you in the head because you might have been smoking marijuana, which would be dangerous to your health. Okay, I mean, this is insanity. The war on drugs is stupid. The police state, as usual, totally out of control. The reason we do all these stories and is not because we created them, it's because they're all over the place. 3 today on the show, right? And those are not accidents. They're not, lone actors. They're not rogues. They're not bad apples. They get taught this stuff, okay? If anybody talks to you in any way, neutralize the threat. Punch them in the head, kick them in the head, do whatever you got to do. Any threat. A cigarette? Look, the guy got killed in New York City. Same thing. In his case, he wasn't smoking cigarettes. He was selling illegal cigarettes without paying the proper
taxes. Yes.
Right, and he got chokehold to death.
He was selling cigarettes for 50 cents a piece, right? That was enough to get him killed in a police chokehold. I mean, what is happening with the NYPD? Every single day, there's a new story. And William Bratton, who is the police chief there, is saying, look, I'm doing everything I can to clean up the department. He's recognizing that there is a disease within that department.
The problem is the culture, and it's definitely not just the NYPD. The culture throughout the country, unfortunately, in police departments, of course not in every police department and not all police by a long shot, right? But unfortunately it affects a lot of the police departments everything is, highest DEFCON level, everything is nuclear, and the reaction is always overwhelming force. You got a cigarette, it kind of looks like marijuana, who cares? Let's kick the crap out of you and put you in the hospital.
and you know, just to give you guys all the facts, I do want to end on this. Hamer was eventually charged with and pleaded guilty to disorderly conduct. My suspicion behind that is that it was some sort of plea deal, okay?
Yeah.
But nonetheless, there was no reason for the cop to punch him in his head because he thought he was smoking marijuana.
I guarantee you they said, we're going to get you on assaulting a police officer, because at some point while my hand was connecting with your skull, well, your skull made contact with my fist. I mean, I guess your head assaulted my fist. So you're going to face, 10 years, whatever you're going to face, unless you make a plea deal. Now, look, if you say, no, guys, you don't have the full facts. If you saw before the video, there was a little back and forth, etc. I don't care. And I'll tell you why I don't care. Unless he was, grabbing the gun. But no, I don't even care then. And I'll tell you why. I would care about that portion of it, right? In that regard. But in the video, we saw what happened after the kid was clearly no longer a threat.
Yep.
And he hit him again anyway. Because biggest crime in America, disrespecting a police officer.
Don't question authority.
Yeah. Bow your head.